Welcome cosmonauts. Today, we're going to be exploring what Reddit asked. What made the weird kid at your school weird? Answer 1. At my school, the weird kid was this guy who used to bring a pet lizard in his pocket every single day. Like, he wasn't sneaky about it either. He'd pull it out in the middle of class and just casually let it chill on his desk. He also talked to it like it was a person, and once told everyone the lizard gave him advice on life. Honestly, it was kinda iconic, but at the time, everyone just thought it was super weird. Answer 2, Adam. He was just weird, like kinda dumb and just weird. I remember at grade 8, graduation, I met his dad. Thought, wow, I've never known a kid to look so exactly like his dad before. Then I met his mother and realized he looked exactly like her too. People reply,
Were his parents brother and sister?
We're twins.
Kid smelled like he bathed in cat pee every day, hissed at anyone who came near him, used to run through the hallways from class to class, threatened to kill me in a computer lab because I used Internet Explorer instead of Firefox. Someone replied,
Are you 100% sure this was not a cat?
History 4. Not really a feel-good, misunderstood kid story, but here goes. A kid at my school who was just a mix of abrasive and socially awkward. It was really hard to talk to him because he would really easily misunderstand your intentions and then get super hostile really quick until you'd leave him alone. He quickly made enemies of pretty much every clique at school, even though most groups were pretty welcoming and accepting from my experience. I saw how he acted towards most other kids, so I largely tried to avoid him just because I wasn't into drama. Groups of kids started to intentionally tease him about random stuff just because they knew it was easy to get a reaction out of him. I would say it was kind of bullying. But he honestly didn't do himself any favors considering how many people I saw try and be his friend that he would berate and demean for random things until they didn't like him anymore. By high school, everyone had to do volunteer work, and he decided to do after-school care for elementary. Some students picked on him and called him a pedo, and he would obviously get really upset about it. I still never really talked to him much, but I did feel for him at the time because there is a real big stigma around men working with kids, and I thought it was commendable that he powered through it until a year after high school when he was convicted as a child predator. No one that I knew really made those accusations with any real basis beyond trying to get him upset. Everyone was horrified to learn that they were actually right on the money. To find out it was all happening at my old daycare made me absolutely sick. Answer 5. He responded to everything with, I know you are, but what my eye. Regardless of whatever was said, eventually people just stopped trying to talk to him. I remember seeing him sitting alone and asking if he wanted to sit with us, and he replied, I know you are, but what am I? I said, yeah, but do you want to come join us? I know you are, but what am I? I'm being serious, come join us. I know you are, but what am I? Okay, never mind. I know you are, but what am I? Answer 6. Too much saliva. When he talked, someone replied,
I had a student like this once, and it was the year I was pregnant with one of my kids. She would have to pause after every third or fourth word to suck back the saliva. Sorry, that's the best way I can explain it. She asked if she could visit me and the baby in the hospital, and all I could envision was her drooling all over my new baby. It was during flu season, and the hospital didn't allow anyone under 14 to visit at that time. So fortunately, I didn't have to come up with an excuse. Very coincidentally, yesterday, I was on the website for our local resource for adults with disabilities, and I saw her picture. My baby is 18, but I recognized her immediately.
Answer 7. There was a kid in my school who was obsessed with Mario. He had Mario sweatshirts and notebooks and a Mario backpack. Well, someone figured out that if you told him Mario is dead, he'd flip, scream and cry, fuck you, no he's not, every time. He got in trouble multiple times for attacking kids who said anything about Mario dying, even if they were talking about in the context of Smash Bros or something. This happened 8th to 10th grade, then I never saw him again. Answer 8. In grade 6, the weird kid went out to the sand pits in the schoolyard that was meant for long jump during gym class, and he started digging in them like a dog would. People made up rumors that they saw him pee in the holes as well, but I don't think it's true. In grade 9, there was a different weird kid who we all called Slick Rick. because he would slick back his hair with gel. He had a collection of rocks that he said were dragon eggs. One time during lunch, my friends and I were sitting in the hallway having lunch, and he came up to us and said to sit still because it was going to jump over our heads. We told him no, but he continued to harass us. It wasn't until we resorted to bullying that he would leave us alone. I'm not proud of that moment since he obviously was lonely and wanted to perhaps have lunch with us, but he made us all feel uncomfortable. There was another weird kid in middle school who was just quiet and sat alone a lot. I was nice to him, which resulted in him having a crush on me and asking me out. I declined, and then he avoided me. The same thing happened to me in college. Pretty awkward. Answer 9. When I was like 8 or 10 years old, I had this crazy obsession with zombie movies. So I would just be on the playground pretending I was fighting off hordes of zombies. Y'all know about air guitars, right? Well, I had my air chainsaw, air shotgun, and air whatever weapon I wanted, and fought off air zombies while yelling all kinds of shit, like die assholes, get some of this. Cause that's what the people in the movies did, right? Eventually, I got other folks into the zombie hype, so the game evolved into this game of tag, but the person tagging had to act like a zombie and infect the other kids. But we could pretend to have guns so we could sort of stun the zombie kids. Yes, we had a wild imagination. Answer 10. So, I have a great story. We had a bit of a weird kid we called Storyteller. He was always making up stories that were really far-fetched, but he swore they were all true. This was in the 90s. For example, his dad was a German spy. He himself, at 14, was already working on some classified computer stuff that he couldn't talk about. Also, he was dating a German model, and so on. Well, a few years ago, I randomly moved in across the street from him. He's fully retired from a cushy IT job when he was like 45, and he's married to a smoking hot German woman. Answer 11. He was watching porn in class. One day, I was watching a music video of SIA, and he asked me if I might have a video of her naked. In 5th grade, he spread a rumor that I was twerking in the bathroom. He literally would come in my class just to be like, guys, she was twerking in the bathroom. And one of my core memories from that year is how me and half the girls in my grade started cursing him out for talking about something that didn't happen. I felt like that girl cause a bunch of 6th graders were clapping and cheering me on. TBH, we were all stupid and weird. Answer 12H. This was about 42 years ago. This kid lived above a funeral home. He was very weird. He always sat alone at lunch. I remember that he would occasionally make this sound, like a low growl, grrr, grrr, and move his arm from the elbow, making his hand move up like he was preparing to give a stiff karate chop. Then it would settle back to being quietly folded on the table. Wish I could remember his name. I'd like to know whatever happened to him. Answer 13. The way people treated him made him weird. Not kidding. He showed up to freshman year sheltered and obsessed with Mickey Mouse, and people made fun of him. The experience was so traumatic for him that he spoke in a sort of character voice somewhere between a toddler and a puppy for nearly 4 years to almost everyone except those who he was closest with. It was a defense mechanism for how he was treated, and frankly, it worked really well for him because people stopped making fun of him and started treating him with respect, but in the way you might respect like someone with a disability. It was kind of sad in retrospect. He could have flourished more if people had just been a little nicer. That was enough for today, cosmonaut. I'll wait for you in the next travel.